describe a creature that is soft, furry, has a short tail, and has a wiggly nose. Can you guess what I'm talking about?
A rabbit?
Nothing.
A rabbit. You've always walked into stores and seen pet rabbits on display for sale all the time. Can only imagine how many need homes in America. I didn't know a thing about rabbits until I went to an animal store one day out of impulse and bought a rabbit, which was one of the best things I did. They are amazing creatures. Once I finish giving my speech, I hope that you realize that the population of rabbits is growing rapidly, and that maybe you'll make the same decision as buying a rabbit like I did. There are about 6.9 million rabbits living in America today. Once we see how many rabbits are still without homes, it gives us a clear understanding on how many homeless rabbits there are. There are nearly 2 to 3 million Americans who own a pet rabbit, making rabbits the third most popular pet to own after cats and dogs. Even though they're the third most popular pets, they're still very hard to find homes. Like, for instance, at Easter, little kids go to the stores and they want a pet rabbit, and so their parents buy them one. And then after a few months later, they find out that they grow up and they don't want to take care of them, so they'll either let them out of their front yard and they'll go and get hit by a bus or a car or something, or the vet will find them, and they usually have to euthanize them because no one wants a grown rabbit. And there's about 47 known breeds of rabbits in all of the world, and I'm going to list the 5 that are the most popular. Starting with the mini Rex, they're about 3 to 5 pounds. They have very plush fur, and you can't brush their fur because it'll rip out, so you just get your hands wet and brush them like that. And they're very playful and have pretty medium activity level, which is good for older children. And the Netherland Dorth are only 2 pounds. They're very skittish, so they're not recommended for children. And they're like the #1 most popular breed to own as a pet rabbit. And the lion heads, they get their names from their mane that looks like a lion. They're actually not very hard to groom. They don't really shed a lot. And they're about 3 to 5 pounds, and they're very active. And the Himalayan rabbit is about 3 to 5 pounds as well. They're known for their distinctively cylindrical shape. And they're recommended for families with small children because they're very calm and tolerant. And then lastly is a mini Lop, and I'll be showing him very soon. His name's Thumper. He's about 3 pounds, and he's very reserved. They're the most reserved rabbits, and they also shed the most. But they're still sweet and can crave attention at times. So, before you go and buy a rabbit, you should know that you have to make sure that your pets like them. For instance, if you buy a dog and you have one, and they might try to eat the rabbit, so it just depends. I have 2 dogs, but they love my rabbit, and my rabbit loves them, so it just depends. And you got to make sure they have a cage where in case they're scared, they can run to. And they like toys. They like to play with towels. If you put a towel down, they'll play with it and try to go underneath it and stuff. And they like to play with balls too. And they sometimes can live up to 15 years if you're lucky. Usually up 5 to 8 years, depending on how you treat them and stuff. And they also chew a lot. They like to chew shower curtains and doors. And part of my carpet's missing in my room because he chewed it. But besides that, they're great pets. As long as you have chew logs, they'll chew the chew logs. And they need a very well-balanced diet. You can never give a rabbit dog food or any kind of food that has protein in it, because it can make them obese and cause diabetes, which will kill them. And so this is very crucial. They need unlimited amounts of hay and just a small amount of pellets, because that also contains some protein. And they can't have any nuts or anything because they cause them to have energy, which they can't release, so they'll just get obese once again. So that's very important. And now I'll show you how to properly hold a rabbit. So I'm going to use Thumper as an example. This is my bunny Thumper. I've had him for about 3 years. He's very tolerant. This is his harness and leash that I take him on walks and stuff. He loves it. And so, oh, and he's also a mini lop. So when he's on the ground, he'll go like this. And in order to pick him up, you want to get down on their level and have your hand up here and on their backs. You know, move it there and you just pick him up, make sure he feels secure, and have him close to you. They like it when you're sitting down because they feel like they're kind of scared of heights, so they don't like to be up so high. So then he'll just, pretty good bunnies. And then I'll let him go, and he just runs around the house. He's pretty good on the leash, but since he's in a place where he's familiar with, he doesn't really like to listen to me. That's Thumper. And now, I'll tell you some facts you may not know about rabbits. First of all, there is a rabbit in England. His name is Darius. He is 4 foot 3 inches, 50 pounds. His owner insured him for $1.6 million, and he also has a personal bodyguard. So she really loves him. And some female rabbits can produce about 8 liters of bunnies a year, and they are one of the most sexually active creatures, which makes it why there's so many rabbits too. And they're natural runners. They can reach speeds of up to 30 to 40 miles per hour, and that helps them when they're in the wild and there's a predator, they're trying to attack them. So they need to run fast, and they burrow themselves in holes so then they can't be seen very easily. They're also nocturnal, so they're more hyper at night. And rabbits have 28 teeth. They also never stop growing, so that's why they chew a lot, because they feel like they need to get their teeth shortened. So that's why it's crucial to have chew logs all the time. And their heart rate can reach up to 325 beats per minute, as low as 130. So if you listen to them, you can hear it really fast. But they're okay, and they're also, if you scare a rabbit, it can easily have a heart attack because their hearts are beating so fast. So they can die very easily from that. That's why you should get on their level and make sure they feel safe around you before just coming up to them and grabbing them like kids do in the stores. And male rabbits are referred to as bucks and females are does, and they can also jump 36 inches or higher. And now that you know a few things about rabbits, I hope that you've learned a few things and maybe consider buying a rabbit. They're amazing pets to own, and I've never regretted owning a rabbit. Thank you.